I do apologise about that, folks. There we go. I have to do some things, but I'm back now. Right, what was I doing with this again? Um, see, the way I'm thinking of doing this, it's almost like, yeah, it's not going to work that way. I can't think of any other way other than what I was doing beforehand. That's the only thing about this. It's sort of like I need 4 of them. But, like, it has to be done this way, right? It just seems too convenient for it not to be done this way. I mean, the alternative is I do it, like, weirdly diagonally like I've done it before. And it's just conveniently worked because of the angle of it. I guess there's only one way to find out. I don't think this is going to work. But I'm sort of out of options. Okay, I'm not. There are other things I could attempt. Hey, I mean, I'm traveling quicker. I mean, it landed. Still allow me to have access to my... No. Okay, I was going to say. That'd be a little bit broken. Okay, right. I have... No, I'm not. I was going to say, I've got a really overly complicated way of doing this at the moment. And it's something that can work. It's not something I'm willing to do, though. Because it requires way too much effort. That being said, though, any more effort than what I'm putting in now? It just sort of feels like this has to be the way to do it, right? No, not like that. I mean, that just seems like the way to angle them. But... It's almost like weight distribution is the issue. Yeah, so if I do it like that... Well, I don't know, should I put like one under here? Just to like keep it balanced? I have no idea if this is going to work. No. Okay. Right. Right. Ooh! I think I've just had an idea. Hang on. No! There we go. I wonder if this will work. I have to like... Closer? What's stopping it? The angle. Dare I try something stupid? I mean... It was more efficient. How did I get it going the first time around? Just shut it off and start again. Like... I'm being given more than I can actually use here. I mean, there is the possibility that I'm just losing my shit. And it's like... Not like that. I mean, okay, we could give this a try. But it is so weird to be able to actually use... a legitimate controller for this. And that makes it sound like the Joy-Cons are absolute shit. I should probably, like, adjust what I was saying beforehand to sort of... like, bring it home, almost. I don't think that the Joy-Cons are terrible. But I'm really glad I don't have to deal with them anymore. No, it's like motion controls using this. I mean, how does that feel better than a Joy-Con? It's the same technology in this, and maybe it feels the same, but I think it might just be like the overall experience of this as well. This ain't gonna work, this ain't gonna work, this ain't gonna work. I almost so want to get that platform back again. Right. The alternative here is that I do something like this. sure, why not? Um, like, if I just put that on 1. Nope, yeah. No. I can't think of any other way to do this at this point. I feel like I've done it everywhere that's feasible. You know, that looks like that should be it. Yeah, but then one or two things happens. It gets jammed, which honestly, I can't do anything about that. That's just the length of it. I mean... But like the alternative I would have here is to... Yep, no, we're dead. We're dead. We're just dead. It's like, it's fucking up, but the way I would have done it, like, naturally would be to just stick these way closer. You know, do something really weird. Like that. And then almost just sort of like... It's one of the things with a puzzle like this is that it's left almost, I don't want to say ambiguous, but it's perfectly it's perfectly, that's not the word I wanted to use either. It's almost like purposefully left open. And you know, it's not like this applies to all of these, all of the puzzles we've done in particular. God, it's just refreshing to be able to actually, like, use the exact abilities and stuff that I want without having to mess about the analog stick. So, like, this should be enough to boost me through, right? But now it's not going to get on this, it's just going to fall off. Is there absolutely anything I'm missing here? Because it really feels like I'm drawing a blank. It's almost like... I mean, this just doesn't seem right. No, that is actually the way to do it, isn't it? Oh my god. Really? That is actually the way to do it. The fuck? Yeah, I need to, like, just even everything up. I probably don't even need these for this, do I? I mean, I'll keep them. 110% not what I wanted to do there. God, it's weird, right? Because I've got a good controller now, and yet I am struggling for alternative reasons. Go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, 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 no! Oh, please don't tell me it's jammed there. Don't tell me it soft locked it. Thank God. What happens if I just decide to do... like... something really dodgy. Like that. And almost like... got a fin underneath it or something. And then we use this to attach the fans on. I have no idea if this is going to be any better. Nope. It's stuck on this one for so long at this point. I mean, I could try it the other way. You know, like that. I sort of want to grab onto these. Are they meant to be like metallic? Why was that the best attempt yet? He like swerved around with it. Oh. Uh, you give me 3 of these. My brain thinks box. Like that. And then this on top. Like this. Now, this doesn't feel right. You know, a part of me wants it so that way it's like that. Not really enough. Like, my plan here is a terrible one. There is no denying that. But this is the last thing I've got. Like, mentally, this is the last plan I have. Oh, I hate you. Oh my fucking god, I hate you. I hate me. Okay. To be fair to what I've been through in this very interesting journey, I think the thing that actually made that work is the bottom piece spaced them out just enough. So I had the right idea throughout that. I just didn't space out the parts correctly, and that final piece wasn't necessarily used as a platform for me to be on, but it was more used as a measurement tool. Which is kind of cool. I like that a lot. I struggled on it, but I kind of like the process of doing that one. It felt like I was using my noggin. Right. Out in Hyrule with my big boy controller. Off we go. What are we doing? What were we doing actually? Ah, that's right. Okay. Did I place marker down over there? Oh, we don't need one. Don't worry, my good sir. I don't think this would work. Yeah, that would like fall forward surely. Okay, fair enough. You know what? The face buttons are actually clicky on this. Shoulder buttons and triggers are quite soft, but the face buttons are clicky. I kind of like that. This dude has been my main, like, monetary resource at this point. Lodging voucher for regular stable bed. Oh. Fatigue of travel. Have I got fatigue? I mean, it gives you, like, the well-rested thing, doesn't it? I don't know. Now, there was I thought I saw a dude, but it might have just been this guy. Oh, we'll just head down here. I can't get over it. It's just so nice to play with an actual controller. I think one of the things as well about using a Pro controller is that it's always gone aside. One of the things about using a Pro controller now is also the experience of it. You know, because I've went through I've went through PlayStation controllers, every kind, from the original PlayStation controller to the first DualShock, so on and so forth. All the Xbox controllers, all the Nintendo controllers up to this point, and it's just nice to actually hold the official licensed controller, and it's good. Because I was close to being like, you know what, I'm gonna get like the £20 equivalent or something like that, like the cheap alternative to this. But I'm glad I went for the official thing. It feels nice. You would hope so, right? But yeah, it does. It's a bit front heavy. I think that's to be expected with all the tech in it, but and the buttons, particularly the plus and minus buttons, are going to take a little getting used to. In fact, to sort of, for those of you who haven't used a Nintendo Pro controller before, to sort of describe what it's like, the D-pad on it is an actual D-pad. Firstly, thank God, because that's what I want to use when I'm playing platformers on a Switch, because I play platformers on a Switch more so than any other console. If I was going to play like an N64 port, though, like through the Virtual Console emulation service on this, I'd probably go back to the Joy-Cons, if only because of the way the C-Stick works, and the D-pad on that. That's just I'm going to have to get the feel of that. But the home and capture buttons are placed in the center of the controller above all the other face buttons. Not above the plus and minus, but they're up there like a standard, like a PlayStation or an Xbox controller, which is very different to that of the Joy-Cons, in which they are placed right at the bottom. I did not mean to press that. Yeah. Yeah, where the electric garb hidden long neck dragons. Which altar? Hang on, no. Which altar did it say? Where the electric garb hidden at long-necked dragons? That makes no fucking sense. Wear the electric garb hidden at long-necked dragons, on long-necked dragons, or at long-necked, along with the wide-mouthed forest spirit. I mean, I've got no issue with just switching to that. Oh, you want me to search the area? Okay, I should probably try out the Sensor Plus, right? Wait, okay, hang on. I thought that would have worked, but it didn't. Maybe attaching the sensor to the treasure chest, though? Pick from compendium. That's awesome. I didn't really bother the Sensor Plus much in the previous game, if only because just wandering about was sort of enough. Yeah, no, aiming with this is way better as well. Treasure chest nearby. Is it up there? Seems to be. Down below. Whoa, you were a tough one. Okay, that's pretty good to have. Oh my god, he charged me. Okay. Wait, where was it? It said down below. Still. Yeah, maybe we should just stick with 60 from the get-go. Whoa. That'll do. Holy shit, that'll do. Took down exactly half of my health. Holy moly. God, I could just... Even, like, the ability to just aim with this is game-changing for me. You know what, though? I'm proud I made it through this with the Joy-Cons. I'm proud that I defeated Ganondorf with the equipment I had on me in that moment in time, like, physically. Because I sort of proved to myself that with the almost, I don't want to say like the intended equipment, but with the stuff dished out, with the stuff that Nintendo have provided for the Switch normally, I beat the game on their terms, almost. You know, like, some people can say something along the lines of, oh, you know, you could have got a Pro Controller to begin with and played the game that way, and then there you go, you would have been fine, right? But all honesty, no. And I say no because... Hang on. Yeah, I say no because not everyone is going to get a Pro Controller. Bear in mind that a Pro Controller is an extra 50 quid on top of the Switch by itself, which means that there will be a large number of people out there that will have a Switch without the Pro Controller. And they will never get the Pro Controller because... You know, 50 quid for a Pro Controller is a bit insane. I ain't gonna lie. I almost want to do like a lap around just to make sure that I'm not going crazy here. Now, with the Pro Controller, one of the things going for it in terms of its price is the fact that do I want to go that way? It is the fact that there's tech in here. You know, it's got motion controls in it. Well, I didn't mean to do it that way, but, you know, live and learn. Hanging on the edge of tomorrow. That was an event. And now I just need the pants, I'm guessing. I said pants! We got long-haired Link back. Right, yeah, so there is like additional tech within this controller is what I'm saying. And it's good motion controls as well. I mean, I think that the motion controls inside the Joy-Cons are pretty good, to be fair. But it's similar to like the haptic feedback with the PlayStation 5 controller and some of the HD rumble features in other controllers. It's sort of this fuckery where it's like, okay, it's cool that this exists, but you realise that the actual value of this controller is how much it gets used for those features. So like Hori controllers get a shit ton of slack for being what they are, but at the end of the day, sure, a horror controller doesn't have all of the mechanics and gubbins of like a big meaty PlayStation 5 controller or something along those lines. But you need to ask yourself at that point, like, okay, how many times did you rely on the haptic feedback in a PlayStation 5 game? Okay, not really, at all, actually. It's a gimmick that's nice to feel, don't get me wrong. God of War Ragnarok, it just feels great in general, but a controller just feeling great? I don't know. That's a subjective deal right there. You know, it's something that not everyone is going to experience. You know, in terms of like a feeling. Sorry, I should have specified. It's not that not everyone is going to experience it. If you have a PlayStation 5, you will have experienced it because the controller comes with the console. It's more to do with the fact that not everyone will appreciate it. Because, once again, it is a subjective thing. It varies from person to person. And that's fine. You know, it's absolutely fine. But, like, when I think about how many times, like, haptic feedback is actually coming useful... Oh, Yuga Clan member. Yeah, how many times, like, haptic feedback is actually coming useful when it comes to playing a PS5 game, it's been never. It's just like it's aesthetics more so than anything else. It's something that's just nice to have. It feels good, but it doesn't improve gameplay. It might enhance it in the sense that it's like a roller coaster of sorts, you know. It's a fun thrill ride, but you're not really getting anything for it in the long term. And that's sort of like what the Joy-Cons were to me. So the first game I got for the Switch was Mario Odyssey, and I remember when I was playing... Oh no, it was actually Mario Kart 8, but still. When I got Mario Odyssey not too long after I got the Switch, I remember thinking to myself, okay, this is going to be the game that gives me, like, the excuse to use the Joy-Cons almost like in an intentional way. To use the motion controls the way the developers intended me to do so, because in all of the trailers, in all of the promotional material for Mario Odyssey, that was... I'm not going to say like the selling point, because it wasn't, but that was almost like the gimmick. You know, using the Joy-Cons to flick Cappy about the place was the big thing surrounding that game. You know, it was the immersion aspect of the title, if you will. And considering that I've played Mario Odyssey a number of times, I can effectively I can say properly that I'm probably going to find myself enjoying it more with this controller. Motion controls are still there. And weirdly enough, if anything, me like tossing the controller like a hat rather than like a single Joy-Con is probably going to be significantly more on point with what they're trying to get me to feel when I'm throwing Cappy, if that makes sense. Regardless, though, in the long run, I just... I don't know. I can't think of an honest reason as to why the Joy-Cons, like, sort of work the way they are. Where they are. It's a bit like the Wii as well, for that matter. There are some great games on the Wii and the Wii U, but in all honesty, when it came to using like motion controls, the actual Wii, the Wii sticks themselves, I think you're kidding yourself slightly if you were to pick up a Wii game and think to yourself, okay, this is going to be a nice casual and chill thing in comparison to like, say, like, you know, if the Wii was your only console, I could imagine that might be the case, but for me, whenever I picked up a Wii game and started playing it, there was almost like a sense of fatigue that came with it. I remember when I was doing my Sonic-a-thon, for example. Fuck. When I was doing my Sonic-a-thon, for example, using the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck was... Well, using the Wii Remote just by itself, and then the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck for the likes of the storybook collection for the Sonic games was exhausting. Like, physically, it was just exhausting. And I know a part of that has to do with the fact that I played those games in quick succession over the course of 2 to 3 days. But even when I started playing Secret Rings, my wrists were hurting fast when I was doing that. And once again, you could probably get away with saying something along the lines of, okay, well that's once again that's a subjective thing, right? You know, Nintendo can't account for how fit or the stamina of individual people is or will be, and yeah, that's very true. But for that exact reason, you know, in many ways, that isn't a good thing. Oh, they can't account for all the people, and the various types of like well-being and the health of the people doing this. Like, not everyone's going to be able to have the stamina and the fitness to keep up playing a Wii game over like the same duration as the amount of time that I've been like streaming something like this, for example. And once again, yeah, that's absolutely true, but I wouldn't necessarily count that in a positive light, because Nintendo can't account for absolutely everyone's fitness when it comes to playing a Wii game. There's no like a simple way where Nintendo can measure how long people will play how long people play those titles for, you know, or how long a play session on those titles would be as an average, because there are just too many people to measure in that regard, especially when the Wii was one of the best-selling consoles of all time. And I think it's one of the fastest, if not the fastest. I could be wrong about that. The Switch might be the fastest now. But it's like on such a level where... Oh. I kind of thought this would be it. He said the large pillar, but hang on, let's just recheck what he said. But yeah, because they can't account for that many people, um, could another tall dragon pillar be more? Okay, okay. That makes more sense. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, like, because Nintendo can't account for how many people were playing, uh, were playing a Wii game for a certain duration of time, and the specifics behind certain games, um, you almost get to the point where they can't mark the quality down of their title. Like, there's no consistent bar for that anymore. For example, because it's such a physical console, saying that like Mario Kart is like one of the best games for the Wii because it was the most consistent playtime overall. Well, yes, there's also because it's the least physically demanding overall. Oh, fuck off. But yeah, like there is. You get to the point where, because of the way the game was made, there is now a myriad... Not the game, sorry, but the way the console was made, rather. There is now a myriad of other factors that Nintendo just can't account for, which means they have to do one of two things. Either hope for the best, or just assume that the playtime does dictate like the success of the title, which objectively it doesn't, but it's weird. It's weird. It's why talking about the Wii as like a quality... Oh, it's why talking about the Wii and the Wii U as like oh, because we saved Zelda, the monologue's no longer there now. Or rather, because she's been dissipated. I guess it's the latter, but still. Yeah. Talking about the Wii and the Wii U in terms of, like, consoles of quality, it is a hard thing to do. Because they're so reliant upon their gimmicks. I suppose the Switch is substantially easier to talk about as a result of it being... Like, the gimmick of the Switch is it being a handheld title, a handheld console as well. Which means that they have to put an emphasis on a regular control scheme. I mean, that has always been a thing that's amused me about the... about like reveal trailers when it comes to like Switch games, when they go, and we've got a brand new like button control scheme for these titles, like Skyward Sword or something like that, and your brain's just sort of like registering for a second now. It's like, wait, are you stating that's a good thing? Because you were really heavy-handed with these controls once upon a time, like extremely so, to the point where you forced people into playing these games with your desired control scheme rather than having the player choose. Accessibility is always great, don't get me wrong, but it sort of makes you wonder why'd you change? You know, like, what made you think differently? Was it for accessibility reasons, or I think that might be over there. Was it for accessibility reasons, or did you just realize that maybe not including a more casual and standardized control scheme is kind of a fucked thing in the long run? In a way, I'd imagine that if Skyward Sword was more popular than it ended up being, we'd live in a world where Nintendo and the development team behind Zelda would have almost doubled down on the next Zelda game being another motion control based title. It's sort of like Splatoon as well, for that matter. The initial game that came out on the Wii U, yes, utilized motion controls, but it was heavy-handed with the Wii U gamepad. And then during the time of Mario Odyssey and a bunch of experimental titles, Splatoon 2 came out utilizing more motion controls because of the Joy-Cons. And then Splatoon 3 sort of not that it backed down because it still had those motion controls as an option, but the much more like standardized control scheme of like a regular controller was I don't want to say like emphasized, but it became almost like the norm. Yeah. All the credit. Oh, have we? Is this I, I'm pretty sure we've done this cave before, haven't we? Might have done. If anyone's wondering where my topics of discussion are gonna go, at some point with this title, essentially what's gonna happen is we'll do the last few missions, like main quest missions that I neglected before seeing Ganondorf. Then once I've done those and we've got the full picture, like properly, then I can do like one last run around with the writing of this game, talk about it a bit more, and then past that point, I have a few other things that I would like to mention. I should probably switch the sensor back. Oh yeah. Topaz. See, I'm in the mindset now where I'm not... I'm not overly bothered about what rewards I get in this game. I'm just playing it for the sake of it at this point. But I'm pretty much going to use the remainder of this title as sort of like a talking point, really. Because there are other things I do want to discuss, mostly involving Nintendo and the future of the Nintendo Switch. Summer Games Fest is happening at the moment now. Like, it completely blanked me that Summer Games Fest is like, oh, now it's started. So I will be able to... So I will be able to spend some time discussing some announcements and whatnot that happen along with that. I can use the remainder of the series as well as sort of like an excuse to talk about the progress of my editing when it comes to some of the bigger videos. So I announced on my socials recently that I am doing Kudoki. Yeah, I announced that I am doing a full review of Series 1 of Doctor Who, and by Series 1 I mean Russell T Davies's first series. Did I just blank where this new island was? Because I feel like it sort of brought me back over here. Right, hang on. Which way is... Was it these ones? Because there is a spooky cloud above it. But yeah, basically I have things I can talk about. Ah, it is this. Okay, cool. Yeah, in which case I might as well just start discussing that now. So, the editing for that review is going pretty well. The way it's formatted... is very specific, so... I do cover every episode of the first series of the show, but I don't go through all of them as in-depth as others. And the reason for that is largely because of the amount of content that I can produce out of them. So if I really wanted to, I could do like a very large breakdown of every single episode as in-depth as I possibly could. But I would reach a point where I would start repeating myself a lot. And especially considering it's all in a single video, there's kind of no avoiding something like that from happening. So basically what I'm doing is, as I am going through each episode, I am making sure that I'm not repeating the points that I've already made previously, or I will almost sort of like, well, shit, okay, I'll almost sort of like double back at times and expand upon things that I've already said. So an example of this would be the first episode, Rose, because that episode establishes both the Doctor and Rose in a myriad of ways. You know, it establishes them as separate characters, what they will be to each other going forward, and it sort of sets up the pieces for what they will be to each other, and how their dynamic will work. Which means that simply just mentioning that stuff when talking about the episode Rose isn't good enough. I'm not just going to be like, this is the Doctor and Rose's relationship. I think that the episode did a very good job at setting up, you know, the setting up the standards for the direction of their companionship going forward and how they'll react, and then I just never mention it ever again. No, I will be talking about it frequently, largely because the first series of the show banks on that heavily. Now, whether or not it does it well, you'll find out. I suppose that's another thing as well. I'm perfectly happy to talk about my thoughts on these episodes freely, if that makes sense. So I have no reason to shy away from talking about my individual thoughts of each episode before the video comes out, because I'm in freeform mode at the moment. You know, like I've done the script, I've done the voiceover, my points are there, and they're sort of ingrained into my noggin as well, so I can talk bits about it, but at the same time, if you want the full context behind everything that I'm saying, I'm giving you a bit of a teaser for the video up ahead, and it's actually in the not too distant future. The episode that I'm currently focusing on editing at the moment is Boomtown, and I actually didn't expect to be spending as long on that episode as I thought it would. What I didn't expect to be spending as much time on the episode as I am, is what I meant to say there. And this is largely because that episode establishes the full cast, the full ensemble cast of this show, and it set them up and sort of it set them up and set them off in such a way that they can firmly stand on their own, and the episode proves it. As much as Boomtown is a Doctor Who episode through and through, and as much as it does have its own share of issues, for the majority of the episode, each character sort of gets their own mini arc. They go off on their own. They go off on their own like little mini adventure, and they all sort of get their own episodic arcs throughout that episode, proving that they can now stand by themselves. There will be times when discussing There will be times when discussing an episode where, in terms of how a companion has evolved over time, I will be slightly disappointed. Of course, whether or not that's subjective or objective, that's something that you've got to have to find out. I devoted some time to talking about the character of Adam, for example. I bet you everyone's forgotten that he exists, but he is a character that exists. He was a companion for a short period of time in the Ninth Doctor's run, and I get what they were going for with him. It's almost as if Adam was meant to be like the anti-Rose. You know, he is someone who is going off on this big adventure, but he's not wary about anything that's happening around him. And at the same time, he does have loved ones and reasons to stick around back at home, and he gets punished for it. So there is a nice little mini arc with his character. The fascination behind the character of Adam, though, is how he just sort of shows up and leaves. Like, he appears in Dalek as a very inconsequential character. Not entirely inconsequential. There's a reason for him to be there, which you'll find out. But what I mean is, he's there, he does his thing, he serves his purpose, and for some reason he sticks around. I mean that in the most sincere way possible, but it's very... It's awkward, right? Because it's not entirely weird that he happens to be in the long game. I like his interactions, his little story arc in the long game. I think my issue is that his story arc in the long game, whilst it does tie in with the themes of that episode, he doesn't really have like any ties to the Doctor or Rose at that moment in time. So it's going to be an interesting thing to showcase that in the video. I haven't read any Warhammer lore, but aren't plasma weapons heresy? It depends. The best... Oh god, you've got me started now. How can I explain... How can I explain this, actually? Warhammer lore. Right. So, there are, like, different sects. So, just because someone is a space marine or an ultramarine, you know, things along those lines, just because they are within that camp does not mean that they have the exact same beliefs. It's kind of like it's kind of like being a Christian or being Jewish. You know, that there are many overlapping beliefs, but there are clear differences that sort of keep them apart in a way, if that makes sense. Except for the Ultramarines and the Space Marines and the Space Wolves and all of that jazz, the separation is more one of, like, bloodlust. I mean, it's one of those things where when you start reading into Warhammer lore, you will quickly realise that Space Marines really picked up in popularity at a point. You know, they weren't necessarily what would be considered protagonists within the Warhammer universe, and then Warhammer became mainstream. I say mainstream. It became mainstream in like alternative media. So like outside of its original source. So instead of it just becoming a war game, it quickly became like, you know, everyone got into it through like Dawn of War and stuff like that. But like in the game, it implies that the plasma weapon was blessed by the Emperor. Yeah, but not all Space Marines are in line with the Emperor. In fact, not all Space Marines believe the Emperor is still alive. There's a reason for that. It's because the main character it's because the main character in that game, from the sounds of things, it's because the main character in that game is an Ultramarine. Because otherwise we're getting into like all sorts of weird shit with the lore. Like we're gonna start talking about Necrons and oh god. Yeah, we're gonna start talking about like Necrons and like the actual human faction, like the main human faction in Warhammer 40k that just exists to get bullied by everyone. Like, it's actually hilarious. It's like sadistic to a point where you're sort of looking at these guys and you're like, why the fuck are you enabling all this? More often than not, though, the answer to that question is largely because they have no choice. The world is just that and the universe is just that fucked in Warhammer 40k. Like you get to the point where it's like, no, like receiving this really brutal form of abuse and calling those abusers our heroes is way more preferable to the alternative at this point. That's the state of things in Warhammer 40k. It's like design the approach. Yes. It's fucked. It's beautifully fucked. It is like it's almost like beyond fascinating though to talk to people who have only experienced Warhammer 40k through like, I don't want to call it like mainstream media, but essentially, because you get to the point where they're like playing one of those titles and they're having to ask themselves why all of this weird crazy shit's happening, and you're just there like, they don't know either. It's fine. Orcs just built different. Orcs are built. I think orcs might be, like, funnily enough, the most unified faction in the entirety of Warhammer 40k. Like, the more I think about it, because the point of the point of not just 40k but Warhammer in general is just to show how fucked up humans can be, like how far they can go with that shit. So it's kind of funny to have like the enemy like what's considered to be the enemy faction of the 40k universe be actually the most understandable faction is pretty hilarious. The main characters are the Chaos Gods and the Emperor himself. Yeah, exactly. That just showcases everything, though. Like the main, like Chaos. When Chaos is promoted to near protagonist status, that is when you know that the Warhammer 40k universe is in a very fucked position at the moment. Speaking of which, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in Space Marine 2. Because the ending of... Actually, that's one of the funniest things to see people's reactions for, the ending of the first Space Marine game. Because that is an ending where you absolutely need context for the wider lore to understand what the fuck's just happened. I knew people that got to the end of that game and were like, wait, what? What the fuck is Chaos? What the fuck is going on? You just sort of sit there going, it's fine. They don't know either. It's okay. It's not something that can be explained. It gets to the point where it's like near Lovecraftian in nature in terms of like what is and what can and cannot be explained within universe, and there's still logic behind it. It's rare to experience a bit of writing in media where it somehow reflects the uncanny valley, if that makes sense. Like you sort of recognize and understand what's happening, but at the same time you're not really meant to. That actually sounds like objectively bad, but it makes it work. You know, it's not just trying to make things ambiguous for the sake of ambiguity. There is a reason behind things. It just happens to be very fucked up reasons behind things. God, someday we're going to get a Space Hulk game that works. I highly recommend reading the... I highly recommend reading the Space Hulk novel. Just the Space Hulk novel. It's it's a treat. It's probably one of my favourite books. Period. Like, the writing's great in it, but also the narrative throughout it. It builds up, and then it just shits on you. It's great. The only type of enemy that has not shown up in Bolter or Slanesh, because, you know, yeah. You remember Hired Gun? That came and went, didn't it? Then again, Hired Gun was made by the people that made I Divine Cybermancy, so I'm not really surprised by the direction that game took. Wait, what do you want me to do in this one? Short circuit. Okay. I get it. Did I get arrows but no bow? No. I'm partially excited for the Warhammer Amazon series. Amazon are like a really mixed bag when it comes to their products, but when they like get something right, they really get something right. If the Chaos Gods existed more, most of Earth would succumb to sleep. I mean, if the Chaos Gods existed, I like there is no good outcome. Like there is no reality where we come out alive. In this time anyway. Ooh. Almost wanted to keep firing those those arrows rather. Oh, I didn't actually have anything. I tricked myself into thinking otherwise. God, with this controller you can really tell that the issue was the camera. Like, the game was at fault as well. That's kind of amusing. There is. If the reality is 1 million years more advanced than our own current tech, I wouldn't even say that. Like, a part of me is like, would you honestly think about the 40k universe right now and say that they are in a scenario where everything like everything is going to go well? Because I don't think I would ever come to that conclusion. It's a decline, but it's like a slow decline. No, it's like that their world is screwed, but they're on their way out. You know, they're not there yet, but they're getting there. I mean, ultimately, everything would succumb to chaos anyway. There is zero scenario where they get out of that. It's like trying to stop an approaching black hole. You can't. You just look at it. It's just that in this case, the black hole happens to be really, really far away. They've seen it, and now they've just been waiting. Guardsmen being happy because only 20 million casualties. That's exactly how it works, though. Like, that's a good day. That's a good day for them. Like, a good day for the human faction is literally just, hey, well, we didn't all lose, and like we didn't all die. Like, only most of us did. And I'm gonna take that as a win. That's the thing though, if a 40k series actually gets made, like, how would that be translated? With, number one, you have to make sure that everyone understands what's going on. I really don't see that happening. It's gonna be a show primarily for one people. Space Marines win one casualty. When Space Marines have one casualty, you feel it. But that's because they're Space Marines. Like, if you lose a regular doobie, a regular human boy, you know, it's fine. They can just reproduce and make more. That's ultimately the fact, like, their way of dealing with that situation. A Space Marine, on the other hand, like, they're like if what the Spartans in Halo... They're like what the Spartans in Halo would be like if they just never stopped. So, like, instead of, like, the UNSC going like, oh, we need to... Everyone needs to calm the fuck down. We're gonna deal with this in a sensible manner. You know, we're shutting this down because it's actually a very big problem, and don't worry, we'll deal with it. It'll be fine. It's okay. No, in Warhammer 40k, everything is just, you know, I don't think we went far enough. That's what the Space Marines are, and that's why you've got, like, so many factions in that regard. Aha. Plus, you also have to think of, like, there is no single faction in 40k where everyone gets on. So, you imagine a single entity dying. Would you trust the Necrons in the same room with you at that moment in time? Interesting when the Space Marine chapter. Another. Yeah, exactly. Like, there is no scenario where it doesn't end with some weird cult just deciding, you know what, I think today's the day. You destroyed over 20,000 of my men, but you said sorry, so we're okay now. Um... Oh, shit! That was just there. That seems like a really weird place to put that, but okay. I got a sky shroom. Badoo. I don't really know where I need to go, so that's fun. I assumed it was like, maybe it is up there. Poopsie poopsie. I don't think that's going to go well, but, you know, whatever. Come on, I'm ready. Woo! Woo! Wait, did I go? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay. I could make a Zonai device to get over there, I suppose. No! There we go. Oh, cheeky boys. And quickly switch back. There we go. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Oh, Lord. I'm not meant to go down there, am I? No! Oh, that's fine. God. Everything's okay. My body just decided to scream for a second. Don't throw rocks at me. It's very mean. It hurts my feelings too. Ugh. Right. Was it up there I was trying to get to? I can't remember. Nope, don't do that. Right. Oh, there's another thingy over there. Okay, I got you. Woo! Do it, Captain. I'm ready. Send me to the moon. Fly me to the moon. Oh, look, it's Zelda. How's it going, fellas? We all go to the moon together? Oh! I did it. This is such a dull second half of the game, to be fair. Like, after you've done all of the main quest stuff, and you have to do all the... This is why I just fought Ganondorf. Like, I thought that this was, like, the next step. Like, I thought that fighting Ganondorf was legitimately the answer to the riddle that I got. So I went off, fought him, and then I got credits. Like, the game can't really blame me for finishing the game, like, earlier than... I'm not going to say earlier than intended, but pretty close. There's no point in coming up here, then. I guess not. Let's do the divey then. Woo! Oh. Well, this was a place I probably could just glide to, but okay. Fly me to the moon. Do, 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 do. Oh, that's another heart. Good stuff, good stuff. The Emperor tried not to be a terrible father, challenge impossible. The Emperor trying to be alive. He's a mummy at this point. He's literally just a corpse wrapped. And they're like, no, he's fine. He's okay. I don't see any issue with him here. He looks fit, young, and healthy to me. He's over 1,000,000 years old. No, he's fine. He's fine. He's, you know, just needs a bit of moisturizer. It's okay. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Right, we're gonna get the final memories now then. Because I've got literally every cutscene in the game apart from like 2. So I assume that any missing context I would need, I'm about to get. Could you imagine if like the narrative of this game now was just like,
Zelda's chosen
I've just pointed you to where you need to go, and it's just right back under Hyrule Castle, and it's like, I've just done that. I've been there. What are you doing? This feels real awkward to carry, but okay. I love that. I've just got like this ancient piece of tech, and then Link just dumps it on the ground like it's nothing. I mean, the worst part about what's about to happen is it's inconsequential, right? Like we've gone through and actually defeated Ganondorf at this point, so and the final cutscenes of the game, including all the context that it was trying to drive in our direction, literally nothing new was given to us. So any other cutscenes that we're about to get from this game at this moment in time is just going to be like redundant. I mean, there's only like 1 or 2 things that could happen here, right? Either we get a cutscene that is absolutely pointless and tells us nothing new. In which case, okay, this entire second half of the game that I accidentally skipped out on and killed Ganondorf before I came here, is redundant and pointless, or this cutscene's actually extremely valuable at giving us information that we would have really needed beforehand. In which case, this game is still... the narrative of this game is still terrible because it just completely decided to omit this information from the finale of the game. I meant to like put this there. I don't even know if I was actually meant to pick that up, to be fair. Emperor eating 1,000 psychos per day to keep himself alive. I ain't convinced. I think that mummy's dead. I think that he is literally just a carcass at this point. I mean, he is. He 110% is just a carcass. And they're just like shoveling gruel into his face, pretending he's still there. Oh god, this entire scene's so awkward now. I think his spirit is I think his little spirit is alive like soul. It's debatable.
Zelda's chosen protector.
But I mean that's like the running joke. Like no one actually knows one way or the other. It's entirely possible, but also it's just as likely that it's not true. There's like a literal image of like his throne room, and it's just it's just his husk of a body just lying on it. They're channeling his power through the dead body to power the beacon of light. I think his body is literally just a battery at this point. It's the equivalent of someone going, "Well, he's alive in spirit," and you're just there like, with all the cultist stuff that's been happening as well. I'm not entirely sure. We like to believe that he's still kicking because it's good for human morale. I mean, it's not. He's terrible, but still. If it keeps the Marines happy. It's just, it's like, I know exactly what I need to do with this, but it's just the way Link just drops it like it's nothing. We need to get many hundreds of thousands of psychers to create a new emperor. We need to get we need to get like a Necron to just puppet him for a bit. Like, just pay one off, it'll be fine. Like, say that you won't kick a tomb or something, and they should probably be on board.
I am happy you have arrived. At last we can speak with each other. Unfortunately, I no longer have a body. Without a physical form, we cannot yet speak face to face. But, do you see the 4 storehouses in the area?
I get it. I know what you want me to do. Let me guess, there are going to be 4 of them.
To visit each of them and assemble a body for me. This is my request to you, Link. Loyal swordsman to Zelda.
Let's get some light in this place. I assume that getting that one up there should be enough. This is gonna be risky. Oh, I should have used the giant bones. There we go. Oh, yeah, that'll do. So I could have just walked over to this place beforehand. Okay, granted, I wouldn't have been able to do anything here just yet, but it's kind of interesting to think about. And I lit up the area. Good stuff. Please make it, please make it, please make it, please make it, please make it. Oh. Right leg depot. Okay. Oh, right. Are we literally just about to turn her into a construct? Don't like where this is going. But I will accept. I remember the first time I discovered one of those lifts and it was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Do I need those fans from down there? I suppose I do. No! Right, get that off. Get that off. Okay, we're good. We're good. God, we're about to do a Monsters Inc., aren't we? I'm literally just about to slap this on here and just take random bits. Gimme. Kinda need a leg up. Did I do this the wrong way? Nah. It's okay. I think I did. But yeah, that's just gonna do that. What does it want from me, like that? So I can like hop in down below? Nope, now it's going the wrong way. Well, that was spooky. But not spooky enough to put me off. Wait, what? Well, why would you put that there, you silly Billy? I'm actually a little bit confused by this now. Ain't gonna lie. Because now what it wants me to do is like... No, there is no scenario where that works. But it's got to. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is... this, but that's not going to work, is it? Like... Because the thing can't be enclosed. Yeah. It's like that. I can, like, hook it on. I can do that. Then it's just going to stop right there. Do I need Big Boy? There it is. I mean, the only other thing that I can think of is that that balance is there, which it won't because of that. If I was to, like, do that. Yeah, I can't just lift it up from there. Is there anything in here to help me out with it? No, there is not. Um... Okay, right. I have an idea now. I don't know if that was the point. I don't think that was the point, but I did it anyway. No! Right. So it wants me to glide it down, pretty much. Oh. Um... Yeah, I can just do that. No, you don't. Oh, they've got one over there, okay. Woo! Sorry, I didn't read your message then. Watching a guy roast one of the vibrant colour paint girls. Ooh. this is going to be very interesting to move, but we shall try. But this feels like it's going to be a process that lasts way too long. I mean, how far do I need to go? Is it just down there? Oh, then I only really need this to, like, get me from A to B, don't I? Like, it's not a big machine I'm making. Just like that. And then turn that around. Woo! Oh! Oh god, duck! So your new leg might be a little fucked, but I got it. Oh, you want it the right way around? God, picky. Don't praise me for all four of them. We're gonna be here all day. Let me just get on with it. That's one. Bring the other. Yeah, okay. Yep, I know. I got your message. I got the idea. I understand. It's okay. I can't remember what the others are, but that's okay because I got a plane. Go. I did it. I saved the world. Guess I'm doing this on foot then. Fly me to the moon. Oh, yeah. Oh, rockets on this one. Do the thing. Okay. That is definitely doing something. What's this thing? This is definitely another scenario where it's like, oh, that's cool, but it's short-lived because this is like the only scenario where this is going to be enabled. Fuck. I mean, just a bit higher then, I guess. Higher and higher. I mean, I felt like I had it, personally. You know, broken ribcage and all that side, I feel like that I really had that. There we go. Why does he want me to make a vehicle? I ain't making no vehicle. We've got rockets. I'm gonna use a rocket. They do the job that we all want them to do. And that's go up. Go, rocket, go. Really? You wanna get this even higher? Did we have any more? Is that what this is for? I guess that's what this is for. This still feels like a soft lock though. Where are my gubbins? Gubby, gubby, gubby. Oh, they're right there. Please give me nothing but rockets. That would be hilarious. A construct head. Interesting. It didn't give me any rockets. It gave me a steering wheel. I don't know how I feel about that. I still feel like that should have worked personally. Yeah, even those rockets are just permanently gone. If I go into... No, not that one. I go into this. Oh, okay, so it does dispense rockets. That's something at least. I ain't giving up on this tactic. I actually really believe that this will work. Despite what them naysayers say, I built a rocket that went to the moon. Yeah, you see? Let me do the moon. Let me moon. To the moon. In other moons. It's a moon. Right. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, it's another leg. I was gonna say, I ain't gonna lie to you. I have no idea what this is. Two more to go.
And that's another part. 2 left.
This really is like the best descriptor for most of the main quests. Like, okay, contextless. That's what I mean, because with context they're worse. But in terms of like these quests just being um in terms of these quests just by themselves, they that they're like inoffensive. They do their job, you know, they work, they function, but it's almost like, compared to the side quests that we've done in this game, I really feel like that's going to be the fact and the deciding factor for my final thoughts of this game, you know, because so far, all of the main quest stuff I've done, I can't really say I've been disappointed. It's what I've expected because this is a follow-up to Breath of the Wild and it's got this weird, it's got this weird MO to try and for some reason dumb things down to a fault. You know, like it's a game that prides itself on allowing the player to do things however they want, and yet anything involving the main quest has to be done in a very specific way. And it almost feels like the game has no trust in the player to like solve these things. Oh, well, okay then. I guess I need another wheel. Wait, what's stopping me from just carrying this? Oh, it's like a conveyor belt. So the wheel's actually a hindrance. Wait, what? Are they going to be like magnetized? Wait. What? I am so confused by this. Right, if I... hang on. If I do like that. And then... I do that? I really don't know what this game wants from me here. I kind of do. Like, yeah. Okay, like that's sort of what I don't think that the game expects me to do it exactly like that. I think it only wanted me to put wheels on, like, a side, but that was just sort of awkward. You know what would be really good? Is if this game gave me, like, a steering thing and I didn't have to use one of my own. But I'm gonna use one of my own. Because this is the kind of environment where it would be pretty fun to do this. Yeehaw! It's fine, it was meant to do this. Get out of my way, this vehicle works exactly as intended, by drifting slightly to the left constantly. Woo! What is a man? What has he got, if not himself? Then he has not. My goodness. I cry, Emmy Tim. Was this his right arm? His left. It was her right arm. Okay. Her right. Yeah, her right. My left. I want to do side activities. I'm only doing this out of obligation, and I'm nearly done. And I'm just. Guess that's the last one up there. That's the thing about all this as well. Like, the second I get the kill, like, destroy, not kill, but the destroy Ganondorf description, that description, I mean quest, I'm gonna be tempted to do it again, because it's there. But, at the same time, I'm like, do I want to go through that gauntlet again? Do I? Do I really? Because I could do. It's not impossible. I've got a teleport marker right before the fight. So, is it still there actually? That would be pretty ace if it was. Yeah, it's right before the fight there. So, there's no reason for me, like, not to just skip straight to the Ganondorf fight and do it again for the lols. I'm not going all the way back down through the imprisoning temple again because once again I've already killed Ganondorf at this point. The game just like wasn't. I don't know. It's weird because I don't want to say the game wasn't great at informing me of what to do, but the riddle really it really felt like the description which the game was giving me, the puzzle which the game was giving me rather, was implying I do one thing, when it really wanted me to do something else. And by doing that one thing first, I managed to skip, like, a crap ton of the game. Which is never not going to feel weird. I didn't get the thing. I just bypassed it. Where did it drop? There it is. Ooh. It's a big one. Is that too big? Nah. Go big or go home, alright? I really like how these wheels, like, the attachments, like, shrink in when you use them. I actually really like that. I kind of wish that you did it automatically when it's close enough. So I can squeeze it into a gap. But, you know, whatever. No, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Everyone back out. Bail. 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 It looked like it was the perfect shape and size, but apparently not. Apparently I was just a big old dum-dum. It's okay. I can take the hit. Does it want me to make it a four-wheeler? No. Is the answer to that question. Okay, I guess all that I do now is, like, just turn this around every now and then. Okay, right. I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna do this. God, it would be so cool if I had the incentive to do this more. Instead of the game just, like, shrugging its shoulders at me going, I don't know. Like, you can do it if he wants to. Yeah, I want to do it. It looks cool, but at the same time, I want you to give me a reason to do it so I feel good afterwards. Come on, game. Oh, you made Lee hurt himself. They're all 10. I'm actually going to switch my gubbins over to super gubbins. That's what these are officially called, by the way. These are super gubbins. When we do all the Great Fairy quests, I am going to come out of this looking like a god. I am terrified of this. Okay, okay. So, do that, do that. I hope this works. Somebody tells me this ain't gonna work. But that means it's worth a try. It's not gonna work. Okay, I mean, I just can't imagine it being that. You know, like, I can't wedge it there. Wait a second. That fit? It'll fit, but now it's too narrow. What am I missing? Because I really don't think this is going to work. Well, it's definitely not going to work if it just... Um... Now I can't see. I mean... Yeah, I was going to say I was just going to tilt, isn't it? I almost need like another wheel. I mean, to be fair, this has only sent me with 2 wheels. So... like... Because that's just going to spin the whole thing, isn't it? This really isn't going to work, is it? Yeah, it's just doing this. And the wheels are too big anyway, so they're not going to fit in there. Oh! God, I've put more thought into these 4 puzzles alone than I have, like, every single temple in the game. What the fuck? Here I was thinking that it had something to do with that, you know, I'd like had to climb up it or something like that. Because I was looking up there thinking that's my destination, right? But no, it just needs to be wide enough to do this. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a step up. This is the kind of stuff that I wanted from the temples. So it's good at the very least. It's in here. I don't think that necessarily... Oh, why can I glide back? I don't want to do that. I've no reason to glide back. But yeah, okay, that'll do. Aha. The joke's on you, game. Wheels forever. Okay, right, before... No! No, 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 no! Everybody calm down. There we go. Um... No, not there. No, not like that. I kind of want it to be, like... Oh, this is a terrible way of doing this. But I kind of want it to be... not there, but... I guess that works. Oh yeah, I actually should have done it like that from the get-go. That's fine. Okay. That should be good now. Okay, actually it's a bit lopsided, but that's fine. You know? No, it's not. Fine, we'll do it the really weird way. Wait, does it just want me to make a boat now? Boats are cool, but... La 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 la. It's a really fun puzzle here, but this is what I mean about like incentive. Like the game out in the actual open will not incentivize me to do this. It will, like, there won't be an island far off, for example, where it's like it would be advisable for me to, like, I mean, think about it this way as well. Like car races. It sort of speaks for itself, you know. You've got horses in this game where you can get carriages. Okay. And it even like samples like delivery type. It even like samples like a delivery type quest. Well, there you go. You've got your own series of side quests there, which could be a running theme, but the game won't do that. The game doesn't do that. It does it as a one-off and it just leaves it. It's like so scared to commit to something, and it almost feels like they're doing it for that. Like I've got no proof of this, but it almost feels like they're doing it in case the player were to say something along the lines of, that side quest was poorly designed, but at least it only happens once. Like, have some commitment. You know, because then you're not, you know, don't put your eggs in one basket, that is a saying, but at the same time, like, too much variety can sort of blank everything out. It makes everything turn into, like, white noise. you don't focus on one thing anymore because there isn't one thing to focus on. You just, it comes and goes, and it does that mentally as well. It just sort of stays in your head for as long as you're doing it, and then it passes on. It's like, think about all the cool stuff that we done with the Zonai equipment throughout this playthrough.
Now only one task remains.
But
We must recover
how much of that was me doing it because I was bored? The game incentivizing me to do it in a very specific moment, like in a very specific type of shrine, for example, where it's pre-designed for you to do that thing, but once you've been taught it, you never, like, once you've been taught that you can do this really cool specific thing, there's no reason to do it again, because the Hyrule doesn't work as a shrine. It's a big ol' open world thing. I completely missed out on this as well. And I have just realised that this is the... This is the construct that Ganondorf uses against us. I wonder if I were to use it in... Yeah, I wonder if I were to... Right, hang on. Game, let me... Thank you. I wonder if we would have to fight this construct if we do this story beat here. Onwards, I guess. Ooh, I wonder. I can go across the gloom with this. That's awesome. So, does that mean that Minoru shows up in the final fight then? And I just sort of skimmed out on that. I'm trying to, like, recall how many... Phantom Ganondorfs there were at the end. Because it's a possibility. I mean, I'm not going to lose anything for trying to get... try and get another time, you know. I assume you just, like, appear. Does Minoru just stay there, or will she meet me at this location? Oh, she just teleports. Okay. What is that sound? How far away are we from it? Not too far away. Oh my god, I've just had an idea. It's all thanks to the Sensor Plus. I could take a picture of a Lightroom. It's not a Lightroom. It's not a Lightroom. I need to stop calling it a Lightroom because it's not a Lightroom. But if I take a picture of a light root, there we go, I did it. I'll be able to sort of track where they are without having to track where they are, if that makes sense. I can pay more attention to the navigating to it than just staring at the map. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Why do I have a feeling that there's another way to do this? Probably because there is. Okay, so it's gonna be around this way then. It's almost like Fall the Camps. Woo. The Master Sword is running low on energy. Oh no! We'll have to wait a whole 10 minutes when it's gone. honestly, the punishment for the Master Sword being used should be... It should either be less durable, or the timer should be longer. Because I feel like it's just been so easy to rely on at the moment. Possibly. It would make sense for there to be a light route by it, wouldn't there? Sort of what I'm banking on at the moment. Ah, he thinks I might have found it. Spirit Temple. Wait, this was a whole... There was a whole other temple in this game, I just blanked it. Does that mean that I did the final boss handicapped? Sort of. Because I would very much be tempted to... attempt it again if that was the case. Where's... Mineral up above? Or down below. Hmm. I'm a little confused. What did the thingy say? Where is Minoru? It really looks like there should be something up there. I mean, there is, because it's a little gap. Yes, there is one. Um, I don't have any arrows left. Is there something down here? I've done a little whoopsie whoopsie. Oh, there you are. Why did you just vanish? You can't just say that that Minoru can't make it up here now after after everything I've just been through. Do you want me to put a rocket on her back? Is that the idea? It was like, oh, okay. I guess that's what I have to do. No, 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 no. I brought you here. What the fuck do you want from me? Jesus, look, I bypassed all this. This is insane. My brain, my brain really read the explanation given behind the riddle beforehand as I need to go to the chasm underneath Hyrule Castle, the place where legends and all that sort of stuff. Like my brain's just like, well, we just experienced a cutscene where those words were practically echoed. That's where we were at the start of the game. Why would I not go there? Oh, so if I destroy this here,
That construct! I made it long ago! But the glow... It must be under the control of something monstrous!
yeah. So I guess if I destroy it here, it's not going to show at the end.
Demon King has turned my creation into his pawn. We must defeat it. We can do this together, Link. Let's go. We have to stop that construct. That worked.
Wow, this is so much easier with Minoru. Holy shit. This is almost a joke with her.
use of the devices around us.
Yep, I sort of figured that one out a while ago, but okay. Yeah, so I essentially did a handicapped version of the final fight then. I mean, it wasn't that much more difficult, but I was struggling at this fight in particular.
It brought out more arms. Be careful. Don't get thrown off by how fast it moves. Just wait until it stops, then attack.
Don't get thrown off by how fast it moves. Slowly stumbles over. Yeah, this is like so much easier. I mean, obviously, this section here is like there's not a lot I can do about this now, but in the section beforehand, all I had to do was shoot a few arrows, and that was it. Can I not reach him from here? You're gonna do a ground charge attack at some point. Oh, I could probably fire arrows at him. Can I do thing? There we go. Oh, that's not where I wanted him to go. Yeah, we should be able to get him over there. There we go. Wow, yeah, like, if we get Minerva as an avatar as well, fucking hell, the final fight's gonna be, like, broken. Oh, we got, yeah, we got another heart for it as well. Of course we did. Yeah, my thoughts surrounding this area in particular. It started out as a bit mundane, I ain't gonna lie, you know. Didn't think much of it. And then it grew on me pretty fast. Yeah, I think this was the best temple in the entire game. Like, not the best temple, but the best section. In terms of the temple type areas. You know, from everything from the start of building Minaru to now, like, this is what I wanted the temples to be like. It built upon the concept of the Zonai devices. We actually have to think about how to utilize them to cross, and it wasn't always obvious. The only issue I had with this section was I think it didn't go far enough with that again, but it went further than any of the other temples beforehand. Especially to the point where you have to use a rocket to jump. Something as simple as that bypasses your brain completely. You don't think about it for a second until you're like, oh shit, yeah, of course.
And one of the Zonai. Minu. I am glad to meet you, Link. I must thank you. It is because of you that we have recovered my secret stone. Originally, my intent was to awaken when you first found the Porapad, then to guide you to my construct and assist you on your journey. I had not anticipated a battle with that same construct. You have proven quite adept, and I am grateful for all your efforts. Link, here. In the name of Minoru, Sage of Spirit,
That's
I grant my power unto you.
so baffling that we just missed this because of a mistranslation. A very reasonable mistranslation as well, actually. God, now that I think about it, the final fight without any of the avatars, that's not a challenge, that's tedious.
Within that construct. I will help you however I can.
Fighting that many waves of enemies, not the Gerudos, what are they called? The mummy things, I can't remember what they're called. But fighting them for
Well
fighting them for the first time there would have been a nightmare.
then. Aha. Long ago, my people, known as the Zonai, came down from the heavens to the surface of the world. It was said they were descendants of gods.
We had an explanation for why Zelda used the Master Sword, and it was bundled in a very easily mistranslated. Oh my fucking god. I mean, it doesn't stop the world-breaking shit with the Master Sword. That's still terrible.
He met a young woman named Sonia, and they would wed.
But at least we have an explanation as to why Zelda would have used the Master Sword rather than take it to the Lost Woods now.
This is how the kingdom of Hyrule, with
Although, if she went to the Lost Woods back then, she could have implanted two Master Swords. Just saying.
However, tragedy suddenly struck.
And the Master Swords can still infinitely time travel for no apparent reason.
The leader of the Gerudo, Ganondorf, killed Queen Sonia and stole her secret stone. Using the secret stone, Ganondorf transformed into the Demon King. He then created swarms of monsters and attacked. Hyrule rose up to face these threats, but the evil power driving the monsters forward was staggering. The defenders were on the brink of defeat. Rauru then came up with a plan to turn the tide of the war. He entrusted secret stones to warriors with exceptional abilities, They became sages and united in an effort to finally defeat the Demon King. Rauru and the sages outnumbered the Demon King and should have been able to stop him. However, the Demon King's power had grown far beyond anything we could have imagined. I was unable to withstand his strength. Our fight appeared all but lost. And then, Rauru.
I mean, to be fair, the one piece of information that we have missing is how Ganondorf was imprisoned.
He committed himself to one final act.
That pride will be your downfall, Ganondorf! Don't be so smug. I know exactly what it will cost me.
Ruh-roh.
Thousands of years will pass in the blink of an eye. You only delay the inevitable.
You're wrong. Years from now, someone will appear with the sword that seals the darkness. A swordsman with the power to defeat you, Link. Remember this name.
Link. Interesting. I look forward to meeting you.
I'm so mad right now. You hide one of the most important cutscenes that answers so many of my questions behind some of the stupidest cryptic bullshit.
Aha!
I can't. Oh my god. Don't get me wrong, that's amazing that it's in here. The answers that I wanted are in this game. Not all of them. Because the once again, the infinite time traveling Master Sword is a bit of an issue. And Zelda not thinking about the two Master Swords that exist in her time is also an issue, but everything to do with Ganondorf has practically been answered for me now. Like, that resolves so many questions I had. So, Ganondorf was imprisoned, and there was a set amount of time he was going to be imprisoned for. It was a delay. It wasn't, that's him done for, which means that there's still no real reason as to why he couldn't have used his power from the second he woke up. But at least we know how that happened now.
You're saying that sword traveled through time the same way you did?
Are we actually...
Yes, but more importantly, in my original time, the Demon King was vulnerable to even the smallest piece of this sword.
Even someone like him has vulnerabilities. Then, what exactly are you suggesting we do with the sword?
Over time, the Master Sword is able to absorb sacred power. It can heal itself, and even grow stronger.
I'm just gonna...
Curious.
What
If
the...
we were able to empower it in that way, it could be the key to defeating the Demon King. But it could take centuries for that sword to grow strong enough. The power the Demon King wields. I do not see how this can be done. It would be impossible for you to provide it with sacred power for so long.
I can think of one way.
You mean...
Yes, I can do it. I have to.
I've told you. That act is forbidden. For a very good reason. It would mean throwing yourself away.
Oh, Minoru!
You
This is like the
won't be
equivalent
able
of
to change back.
telling, like, half of a story, right? And then, when you get to the halfway point in the book, the next page is like the final chapter. And then they say, in order to read the rest of the book, you have to do some weird voodoo shit to find it. Like, it gives you something like a riddle going, in order to find the secrets of this tale, turn the page and the truth will unveil, or something along those lines. And then it's actually like a really thin page that's purposefully like stuck in between
Very well then. As a Zonai, I
in between like the halfway point and the end of the book. And when you like peel that apart and read what's there, it just gives you all of the answers.
I will do everything I can. Even if my body should perish, I will still be with you in spirit.
There we go. That's that's all I needed. It's an issue that these are the only cutscenes that display this information, and it takes this long to get to it, and also it's hidden behind some really terribly cryptid shit.
Well then.
But now we know that Zelda didn't take the Master Sword to Lost Woods to repair it, because by pouring her own energy into the Master Sword, it became stronger over time. So in its current state during the present day, before the events of this game, the Master Sword wouldn't have been strong enough anyway.
Well then.
That's what I needed. The most important cutscene in the game is shoved right here. It's like hidden right here. And there's even a main quest for the Master Sword as well, making it intertwined with the main story. How can I not be baffled at the lengths it took to get to that? You know, like... We've even got Minoru, who can fuse two items to her. She does what I want all the weapons in the game to do. It even tops that. This doesn't fix a lot of my issues with this game, right? Gameplay wise and performance wise, it's still all over the place. And narrative wise, I'm still not ready to say it's good. Because there are still world building issues here, primarily to do with, once again, how the Master Sword time travels. Zelda stating that the Master Sword time travel the same way she did is very weird, because Zelda time traveled because of the secret stone that she acquired. The Master Sword time traveled supposedly because it was at the Temple of Time, because Link drops off the broken Master Sword there. So that still doesn't add up. And once again, through the Master Sword being able to time travel by itself, that implies that there can be an infinite number of Master Swords at any one time. There are 2 Master Swords in the moment of time when Zelda's back there. It makes sense why Zelda holds on to this one in particular. But that doesn't really explain why she doesn't get more. You know, because the other weapons that the other champions use in this game, they're just like regular ass weapons. Imagine if they were all armed with a version of the Master Sword, or at least a material of it. There was even a hint there as well that, like, okay, maybe the mural at the start of the game was a bit loosey-goosey with the knowledge, if that makes sense. So it wasn't all the way back in the early days of Hyrule. Because we got hints of that in this cutscene as well. And if that's the case, it solves it.
No!
Oh? Ah. Hmm? Eh? Hmm. Ah.
Oh? Oh. Ah. Ah. Oh.